Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. I'm Jenna Layden, the founder of Star Family Wisdom and your host. I'm also a former global vice president for Whole Foods Market. I'm also a soul healer, a shaman, an art curator. I wear many hats these days. And today's episode is going to be about energetic hygiene. So, Star Family Wisdom was born of my journey to engage in deep spiritual practices to navigate profound transformation and experience what is possible. And as we're on that journey or just in life, we're encountering all sorts of energies. And I think it's important for us to just pause and kind of tune in to the understanding of energetic hygiene, because a lot of the situations we find ourselves in that maybe are negative or yucky, in some cases can be prevented or maybe lessened by better energetic hygiene. So I'm going to talk through a number of things that I think are good to just tune into, get educated on. I'm not educating you on like all aspects of these things today, but making sure that you have a good understanding, like a holistic understanding of some of the things that you can be focused on, that you can utilize in your life to keep your energy really clean, really pure, to help you avoid taking on heavy negative energies. So, so we'll first talk about, calling on the protection that's available to us, because we have a lot of protection that we can access, that we can request, and we don't always do that. So, one important rule of thumb is that, we have free will here in the physical. Like, this is part of the game of life. You have to say what's allowed, right? Like, if you want interference from the world of spirit, if you want interaction from the world of spirit, from your ancestors, from your guides and your angels, from the masters, from the holy beings, from the ETs, you name it. There's like a plethora, right, of energies and beings that we can connect with, even, archetypal energies of animal spirits and that sort of thing. We have to ask, we have to allow that protection to come to us. They can't just show up and start interfering in your life. Like, this is a co-creative process. And again, you have free will. So spirit's waiting for you to make the first move. So ask for help. Number one, anytime you're going out, in big crowds, anytime you are traveling, maybe anytime you have like a meeting coming up at work that is going to have like some energetic tension or something, like, ask for help, call on these beings, call on your ancestors, call on your angels to be with you, to be present, to surround you with energetic protection and light. We also talk more about this in the Goddess Isis initiation course, and some other techniques that help bring protection to your field. If you want to go deeper, check that out. But asking for support, number one thing. Number two, as we are engaging the world of spirit, as we are, calling in beautiful divine energies, helpful energies, high vibrational energies, we want to create a space that allows those energies to connect with us. So, creating a sacred space, having an altar that maybe houses photos of divine beings that you work with, your ancestors, maybe, houses important sacred objects that can help, anchor that divine power and that divine energy in your home and in your field. That's really helpful too. That can be a place that you go to establish that connection. It's also good to have candles lit. So in my home, I always have a candle lit 100% of the time, except for when I'm sleeping. And that's partially to, create the sacred space. It's also partially to help burn negative energy. So we can work with the elements to burn off negative energy, to help transmute and transform that energy. And fire is one of the most, powerful elements that we can work with. It's one I have a good relationship with. So, having a candle burning at all times is super helpful. We've also, I think, probably all heard of smudging, right? Like that is a process of utilizing plants and smoke to help clear the energy of a space. And when we do that, we want to be intentional, right? Like anytime we can be super intentional about how we want energy to move, we're going to experience that energy moving in a more profound way. So I also always love to have incense burning to help bring in divine energies. I use frankincense and myrrh pretty much like exclusively at this point. I'll use Palo Santo and sage sometimes for like a smesh, a smeshal, a smudging, a special smudging clearing. And when we also have fire and incense and maybe flowers present with water, we are bringing all of the elements into our space. And so we want to have good balance with the elements also. That also helps strengthen our ability to shift energy and our ability to keep the elements in our field balanced. We can also work with essential oils, essential oils as like a spray, like a room spray, or even on our body. We think of essential oils as like, a lovely fragrance and a smell, but the plants themselves are holding a frequency of divine harmony, and the plants themselves are working with our energy field to bring it back into divine harmony. So, we can think of the plants as this great, ally in creating energetic protection or helping to clear a space. So be really intentional, about how you're, working with plants and bringing plant essences into your practice, into your space. And you can even work with some of these plant essences like frankincense and myrrh to anoint your chakras. So I like to maybe after a bath, after doing some energetic decharging with the water element, work with the essential oils to anoint all of my chakras, to bring high vibrational energy and frequency into all of my chakras. Again, with that intention of heavy, dense, negative energy releasing and going back to the divine mother's womb and bringing in the high vibrational energies that boost my soul's power, bringing more of my soul's energy in, and just helping to create a field of protection. So I just mentioned baths and decharging. One thing we don't get taught enough about is releasing energy. So a lot of spiritual practitioners are focused on working with certain energies, right, and bringing beautiful energies into a space or channeling those energies for another person, but we forget about what to do with the negative energies, or we're not taught about what to do with those energies. And just because we're living, right, we're in this collective field and we're going to be bumping up against all sorts of energies. And so, whether you're a healer, or just like doing your own practice, you're always going to be interacting with lower vibrational energies. And especially as you raise your frequency, you've got to do more work to maintain that field of harmony. So we have to be releasing negative energies, and sometimes it's like we don't even know we're carrying them, right? Like now I know anytime I'm, engaging, with other people, afterwards I'm decharging. I'm going outside and putting my feet on the ground, and I'm asking Mother Earth to take heavy energies from me. I'm intentional about sending those energies out of my system. I'm intentional about saying those energies need to go back to the divine, back to the divine mother's womb, back to the womb of creation, back to the source of this creation. Those energies are not mine to carry, right? We want to be really intentional about that, and be reinforcing that like daily, right? That any lower vibrational energies that we're interacting with, that we might be picking up, we are releasing and we are letting that go. We are sending that back to the elements. We're letting it go. So be really intentional about that. Get your feet on the earth every day, like every single day, as often as you can. I walk around bare feet most of the time now, because I know that, not only am I decharging energy, like I want this system to be like a hollow bone. I want this system to allow energy to flow through it. I don't want it to get all blocked up, and I know what that feels like now. So walk barefoot, get that energy moving, and then you can also ask Mother Earth to give you beautiful energy, right? Like she can boost your system with her energy just by like getting your body connected to her. So that's super important. And ultimately, anytime we are in connection with more of the natural world, more of the elements, we're gonna be in a better energetic space. Like that just naturally helps us decharge. And most people don't know that the lower chakras, your chakras are spinning energy vortices, like a vortex of spinning energy that you just can't see most of the time. And so you have 7 primary chakras that are these spinning, vortices. And your lower chakras, your 3 lower chakras, your primarily where we hold a lot of the like negative energies or distortions or, trauma that we've taken on earth. But those chakras, like our chakra system is designed to spin energy. Like that's the whole goal. Like it's just designed to move energy, through the system. And when we're outside and connected to the earth and connected to the elements, those chakras just naturally are going to be spinning energy out to the elements. Like they're going to be decharging negative energy. But if we're not in the elements, we're not giving our system the ability to move that energy out the way it needs to. So that's critical. Like the cultures, people on earth that have stayed more connected to their natural environment and are out in nature all of the time, like they're healthier. They're just going to be healthier because their system is naturally doing what it's meant to do. So that's just like so critical. And, again, you can think of being in the elements, working with the elements as a way to create harmony in your system, because we are the elements, like that is all of this. All of this is the elements. And when we can, be out in the wind, when we can, be swimming in natural bodies of water, when we can be putting our feet on the earth, we are going to be repairing our energy system in the process. There's also, an aspect of that in our physical homes that we need to be tuned into, because sometimes, we start to develop some, bad energetic hygiene just in like the physical setting that we're in. So, most people have heard of feng shui and that idea of like moving things, in your physical environment to create an energetic shift. It goes both ways, right? Like anytime we intentionally shift something in the physical, we're shifting the energy. Anytime we are intentionally working with energy, we are going to affect the physical. So sometimes, on this path, we get so like tuned into the energy that we're kind of forgetting about, our physical environment and like how are we maintaining our physical environment? Do we have the right balance? Do we have, our plants in the right place? Do we have, clutter that is potentially creating an energetic blockage in our system? Do we have attachments to physical things that would be creating a blockage in our system? Thinking about that stuff is really important. There's also a kind of a higher level, like more advanced version of feng shui called Vastu from India. Most people are familiar with feng shui, which is super effective. Vastu is like the next level. And to understand certain aspects of how the four directions, the cardinal directions, also affect the flow of energy. So there's a way in which, ideally a physical space is designed, like erected and maintained to allow that flow of energy. So you can learn more about that somewhere else. I'm not a Vastu expert. I'm just telling you about it. And so we can, tune into those things and recognize, okay, maybe if I go, clean out that closet, I'm going to feel a shift somewhere. Or maybe I need some more flow in my life. Like maybe something's feeling stagnant and I need to work with water more. We can start to intuitively navigate our energy in that way too, understanding, the way in which water moves, the way in which air moves, the way in which fire operates, right? Like we can start to tune into these elements as a way of understanding, what we need to shift in our life. So for instance, I'll work with fire when I need to, very clearly burn away, some energy, like it's time to cut the cord, release that, clear it. That's when I, really work with fire, when it's like a really more intentional, like attachment that has to, be burned away. If it's more like I just need to wash the energy off of me, I just need to get off the excess energy that's accumulated from the day. Maybe that's water. I was working at one point around the flow of abundance in my life, and really tuning into water around that. And every time it rained, anytime I was near a river, like noticing the flow of the water and reinforcing that flow of water is like the natural flow of life, and the abundance in the universe flows just like that water flows. And when we can make those sorts of connections, we're also shifting, our energy in a way that allows that flow to occur. So there's ways you can work with the elements too that are fun, but also, just like practical and help you shift things. And then, we want to tune in to obviously like our emotions and what issues are coming up that might be related to various chakras in our body, that might be related to various physical issues. So I'll give one example from my life from last year. I had multiple like karmic clearings happening at once, like multiple relational things going on that were just arriving in my life so that I could work through it, and clear that karma that existed. And our first and second chakras are more related to relationships, The first chakra being related to community and familial relationships, sometimes sexual relationships. Our second chakra being more of the chakra that's related to those close one-on-one, kind of uh, romantic relationships. So both of those chakras are at play, with our relationships. That both of those chakras are going to be holding, energy and information related to those relationships. Those chakras are obviously located lower in our body, at like our hip area, below our abdomen, near our pelvic bone. And so as these issues spun up in my life, and what I should, I guess, reframe as actually imbalances. These were imbalances in relationships that needed to be resolved. I started developing a major hip issue and it was like very painful. And I was like going to see a chiropractor, and that was futile because this was not going to readjust and, get situated in a way that was healthy for my body until I addressed those emotional issues and those relationship imbalances. So this was a direct example of how what started out as a relationship thing, that showed up in my life very quickly turned into an energetic hygiene issue because I had this major imbalance in my field that I was just allowing to linger. I wasn't dealing with it in a way that would resolve it quickly. And by allowing it to linger, that was creating more and more energetic imbalance, which was creating this physical issue. And the physical issue was not going to resolve itself until I resolved the emotional issue. I was pretty clear on that at one point, but, it was like this process of then doing the work, to resolve the emotional issue and the relationship thing. And once that had been moved through, then my energy, shifted in a way that allowed the body to realign itself and come back into harmony. And so if we have an energetic hygiene issue, an imbalance in our field that we're allowing to continue for some reason, eventually that's going to affect our body. So this is, partially about our physical health. It's not just about moving through life in a super positive way and, avoiding, some of the negative, but it's about making sure, our physical body is able to regenerate in the way it needs to regenerate. This is also not about, avoiding the negative. So like that example of the emotional issue related to these relational things that were going on with other people, that was an opportunity for me to tune in to what was painful inside, like what pain had I been suppressing, that I had not wanted to acknowledge or feel, or what sort of, fear was I carrying that I needed to resolve so that then I could resolve this relationship imbalance. It was an opportunity to address that. It was not an opportunity, it was not an invitation to run from it, right? If I had run from that, if I had run from the perceived negative, aspects of what was going on, this physical issue would have gotten worse and worse. So this was an opportunity to lean into it and allow myself to feel when I needed to feel, and acknowledge that and integrate it. So often we we're often carrying, so much negative old stuff we need to deal with and move through. We're not going to clear it and shift it fully until we have felt it. We've got to be willing to move through it to get through it, right? So this is sometimes about allowing ourselves to feel the negativity that has been in the system, and then release it in a healthy way through a lot of, the things we're talking about here too. But sometimes we have to feel grief. Sometimes we have to, acknowledge a fear we have that's preventing us from having that hard conversation or whatever it is. So energetic hygiene is not about running from negativity. It is about being able to, integrate what we need to integrate and shift what we need to shift and transform what we need to transform. And then once we've transformed it, then we want to protect our energy field. We don't want to slip back into bad energetic hygiene. We don't want to slip back into imbalances. We don't want to slip backwards into relational issues or whatever it is. We want to do our best to maintain that higher vibrational frequency. And these are all ways we can support ourselves in doing that, because again, we're, especially as people on this path of evolution and transformation, we're here to help carry a higher vibrational frequency. We're here to help share that with others. And anytime we are sharing ourselves and our light and being that beacon of light for others, and anytime others are healing, anytime we're just like out in life with other human beings, we're just going to be interacting with some of that distortion that exists on this planet. And so by understanding how we can continually keep energy moving, how we can make sure we are working with the elements, decharging energy, releasing negative energy, integrating the feelings that we have, and moving through transformational processes, we're just going to experience a greater degree of harmony than we would have prior. And a lot of you are empaths. A lot of you are people like me who are open channels. And when you do the work to become an open channel for the divine, that's beautiful, right? Like, you are channeling divine energy out into the world. You can be a powerful healer for this planet just by being here and being alive. And when you become an open channel, you are open, like, you're going to feel, what's there. You're going to feel what other people are carrying. You're gonna potentially take some of that on, and we need to tell that energy where to go. We don't want to be taking that on, right? So know that many people who find themselves in the healing arts, in these spiritual practices, we're generally not focusing enough on releasing the heavy energy and telling that energy where to go. So today, was about that reminder of, how can we keep that energy moving? How can we keep that energy flowing? We didn't even get into all of it, right? There's so many other tools, like utilizing sound and sound bowls and gongs, to help us shift energy in our field, doing physical yoga, utilizing mantra practices. There are a plethora of ways, Tai Chi, Qigong, that we can move energy. We just have to engage, right? And some of what I mentioned here are, easy, practical things that you can adopt in your life today, just like good reminders for us, so that we're not taking on energy that shouldn't be ours. One thing I like to say out loud a lot, because we want to use our voice to direct energy and to reaffirm what is allowed for us, I like to say out loud a lot, any energy that is not mine is commanded to go back to the Divine Mother's womb. Any energy that is not mine must decharge through the elements and go back to source. Right? So that's like a really frequent refrain that I have to just help keep that energy moving, to help direct that energy. We got to tell it where to go. Again, we've got free will, and we can direct energy. We can be co-creators in this process, or we can just allow what's going to happen. So we want to be actively engaged in this flow of energy that allows us to experience a more beautiful life. Um, there are also a lot of tips and practices that you can engage in our Raise Your Vibe challenge. This is a 28-day challenge where you're going to get a short video and practices every day that allow you to slowly integrate new routines, new practices into your life that are designed, intended to help shift your frequency, help you clear the stuff that you've been carrying that's not yours to carry, and help you start to, experience that, clearer energy field and then the, physical reality that comes with that. So check that out in the show notes if you're interested in, going further in some of these practices. And before we wrap up, let's just do one quick energetic protection technique together, knowing that we are always in sacred space when we are together on this podcast, knowing that I always am holding us in sacred space here. So if you are in a place to do this, this will be a very short meditation. Stay with me if you're driving or, operating some machinery of some kind. If you're working, maybe pause and come back to this later. So if you're in a place where you can close your eyes, just take a moment to close your eyes and just take a deep breath, tuning into your breath, knowing that the breath is also how we can move energy, and just breathing in fresh energy, allowing that life force energy to come into you. And with each out breath, just imagining any heavy, dense energy or maybe any tension in your body to just slowly start releasing, and just begin to imagine a brilliant white column of light coming down from source, from divine mother, from divine father, from the center of this universe, streaming all the way to the very top of your energy field. And just imagine that this light is beginning to create a pyramid around you, starting with the south wall and now the west wall, and then the north wall and the east wall, and now creating a base, and just allowing this golden, this brilliant white light to strengthen the walls and the base of this pyramid. And now asking that a golden light come down from Mother, Father, Divine Source, streaming into this energetic pyramid, strengthening the walls, strengthening the base, and imagining this golden and white light intertwining, streaming down together through this brilliant column of light, the top of this energetic pyramid. And this column of light now goes down through your crown chakra, into your third eye, into your throat chakra, down to your heart chakra, down to your solar plexus, down through your womb, through your second chakra, through your first chakra. And it goes all the way down to Mother Earth's crystalline core. And you can begin to imagine a brilliant column of light reaching down from the base of this pyramid, going all the way down to Mother Earth's core. And this column of light allows any heavy, dense, negative energy to just move down and out through your system now. And you can imagine this brilliant golden and white light streaming down into the pyramid now, circling your field. It is continuing to strengthen the sides of the pyramid and the base of the pyramid. It is continuing to flow through you and through your chakra system, and then back up and through the toroidal tube, the torus of your energy field. It is flowing through your whole energy field. And you can imagine this pyramid now being filled with this beautiful white and golden light. And you can now set the intention for this light to continuously stream into this pyramid, for this pyramid to remain in place indefinitely, for this light to continuously flow through your energy field, catching and dissipating and dissolving and dropping away any heavy, dense, negative energy, any energy that's not yours to carry anymore. And we'll now program this energy field, this energetic pyramid, with protection, knowing that this energetic pyramid is now designed to deflect and reject any negative, dense energies, any energies that are out of alignment with your truth and with your power, and any energies that are out of alignment with the divine plan for your soul. We will just ask that those energies be sent back to source, those energies be dissolved and dissipated as soon as they come into contact with this energetic pyramid. So now, knowing that this energetic pyramid is in place, taking another deep breath in and a clearing breath out, just allowing your system to release what it's ready to release, seeing that energy move out and down back to Mother Earth's crystalline core, knowing that as Mother Earth absorbs that energy, it goes back to source and gets reintegrated. And anytime you may be feeling a heaviness or dense energy, or maybe some difficult emotions, you can call on this light to be boosted. You can call on more of this golden and white light to come into this pyramid. You can call on this light to come into your chakra system in a more powerful way, knowing it will continue to stream through your field at all times, knowing that this energetic pyramid is in place indefinitely for all time through eternity, and just asking that any energies that are important, protective, and supportive for you come into this pyramid now, knowing that this energetic pyramid only allows the highest vibrational energies of love, light, and wisdom, knowing that only those highest vibrational energies that are serving the loving evolution of this creation may interact and influence your energy field. And just allowing yourself to feel that energy now. And taking another deep breath in and a clearing breath out, knowing you can come back to this meditation at any time. You can begin to open your eyes and bring some movement back into your body, and just experience what feels different now, what feels maybe a little lighter, and just allowing that to integrate now. So what we just did there was a powerful exercise that I encourage you to repeat over and over and over, just continuing to reinforce that energetic protection and that energetic support that is now with you. And knowing that the golden light that we brought into this energetic pyramid is the golden light of grace, which will hold you in a state of grace and help you with that dissolving and dissolution of negative energies, and knowing that that white light is the white light of divinity and protection and truth, knowing that you will be held in a field of divine truth, and any energies that are out of alignment with divine truth will be dropped away. Okay, so with that, we will wrap up for today, and we'll leave you with that beautiful energetic pyramid so that we are all walking away from this conversation with better energetic hygiene. And again, I invite you to check out the resources on the Star Family Wisdom site. We've got so many great tools that you can engage and utilize in your practice to help you with that energetic harmony that we all want. So thank you for tuning in. Leave a comment, rate and review, and share this with your friends if you're enjoying this podcast, if you've found it valuable. Let me know, let your friends know. Let's spread the word and get this to more people. And let me know if you're curious about any particular topics that you want me to cover, that you want more clarity on. this is for you. So I've been sharing about my journey, but I also want to support you and serve you in your journey and your transformation. So comments, questions, suggestions are welcome. Okay, I'll see you next time. Bye for now.